And from there, you don't care about the experience. Right? It's not personal. From there, it's about the journey. It's about why I would put all of this in an order and meet who I meet on life's path. But now, you're in your seventh centre. Okay, when you're in that zone, it's impersonal, intangible, spirit. But the moment it drops into the physical, you're now very personal about it. Now it's about the experience. Now it's, that person hurt me, and so I'm going to hurt them back, because we are always taught an eye for an eye. Hammurabi. Have any of you read Hammurabi's Code? Have you ever heard of Hammurabi? You should read this. This is the first written law ever in Earth that they can find in recorded history. And it's pages, and it's comical to us today. If you read it, I wanted to bring it with me, I'm sure. You're going to have a look at it. You know, if you steal, then what you steal, a hand, it's fair to take the hand. Eye for an eye. I mean, most of them I observed as I read through was throw them in the river and let them drown. You know, that kind of, what we would say, ludicrous response to something that really wouldn't justify that kind of reaction. But in those days, that's it. So that's second centre, by the way, Hammurabi. Okay, eye for an eye, vengeance. And we will be going in and we will be excavating a little bit, alright? But I want to give you an overview so you understand how, although I separate first, second, third, fourth, fifth, you can't. They are composite. And in one instant you can move through 3 or 4 in a trot. And they're all going to have a voice. You're multi-voice people. You are on so many different levels. No wonder we all run around like hamsters on a cage. Round and round and round. So your physical, emotional, mental and spiritual bodies. Okay? And that is your living energy. And your Akashic overview. And when you go back to Source, where we'll get to seventh centre, when we go back to Source, that's the, you've heard of the past life reviews and the Lords of Karma. I had to laugh, that was high humour to me, the Lords of Karma. And the judges that sit in judgment on you. And I thought, there's only one person who's going to judge you, it's going to be you. Because no one else wants to judge you for anything. Aren't you your hardest critic? Isn't it you that you start with the judgments? And then you will measure, how did I do? But you know the information you'll go after? It's not about you. It's you and people in response to you. Have you ever thought of that? It's not about what you did in this earth. They couldn't care less about that on the grand scale. Your spirit says, oh, well, that was just an experience, it's fine. Now, how did you affect the people that you went into the earth to affect? What was your response to them? And then what was, more importantly, their response to you? Now, that's where you get the karmic glue. It's about their response to you. And if they're giving you that response, then you can be sure that you've got their response. Right? And that's what you go after when you move into spirit. So what is spirit? Well, the Eastern people called it prana, life force, didn't they? And they said that you received this living water, and water has been so metaphoric over the ages of purification. The living water, Jesus was known as the living waters, the living spring. It's the washing of the feet symbolically, the washing of the hands. It was taking your shoes off in that sacredness. This spirit that you emanate, have you ever really contemplated what that is? Well, it's grace. It's nothing more than grace. They say it's unconditional love. You know what it is? It's the best of humanity. It's the kind thought. It's the loving arm. It's that supportive energy that we give to each other. We give our gift of grace when we choose kindness. Right? That's grace. Now that fills us with what? Ecstasy. Excitement. We buzz when we've done a good thing. And we feel energized. So we've plugged our PowerPoint in to the main frame. And we're drawing that source power through us. We are batteries. Okay? So we fill up our batteries. Then we distribute. And the distribution points are the memory reactor chips. Because the distribution is not in today, like for most of us. It's in the memories that still haunt us from yesterday. It's in all of what we've experienced. Okay? Now, does that make sense to you? How much is reaction to what you think you already know before you get... So if we change the slide now to the first energy centre, because the first place your feet land every single day is in the earth. And you take it for granted the floor is behind you and all around you, and that there's walls and a framework. True? So the framework would be your biology. And in the biology of the first centre, which radiates here, you would be looking at your immune system. You would be looking at viruses. Look at the internet. I have nothing but viruses. Right? But they come in and they infect. Now the viruses are the pathogens that we've created in humanity. Okay? The connection to all is one lives in this area of your body. All is one. But when we give birth, and this is birth into the world, we go through separation. The first stage is to be separate. And that's the first time we get a sense of being alone. So we get born into a social family network that comes in to support us through the most vulnerable aspect of our journey. For we cannot take care of ourselves. We are so dependent on that family tribe to nurture and to protect and to love us. That's our family connection. It is baptizing all of life and taking that infant, the most vulnerable member of the family, and stepping forward energetically